Alrighty, guys. So, I could just basically do the same crap that everybody else does about this topic, whether they're just talking about, just overall, just like, oh, you can go to calorie.net and this time and third, but I'm gonna do something more niche and creative right now. I'm here to talk about the premise of like the mindset you need to have when you are getting into the gym, because I can give someone the blueprint to success. They just have to be the ones to take it. You know what I'm saying? You can't give the camel water if the camel don't even want the water that you give it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta realize that, because a lot of times what people want are like quick and easy fix. They don't want like the slow progress, the ability to to feel like the pain, frustration, all the negatives, and then get the success and positives that kind of like nullify or almost kind of like make the pain and struggle obsolete. But you're able to have some oomph in your stories and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just want it now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, a lot of people think nowadays that, hey, like steroids and this, that, and the third is the way to go, which in my personal opinion, I don't think that's the way to go, because it prohibits the ability to have progress and make mistakes and this, that, and the third, you know. Number two, it gets very, very deep with the fact that, like, you realize that lottery winners, right? Lottery winners, they have this whole big like prize of like the $100 million, right? 9 times out of 10, and you can look this up too. I don't even know the statistics, and I know this. 9 times out of 10, those people don't even stay the 100 millionaires that they are, or quadrillionaires, or whatever millionaires. You know what I'm saying? They spend it on BS. Like I can't name off the top of my head. I don't think you can either. You can't name off the top of the head that if anyone would have won the lottery, they would go to a financial advisor. I don't know if anybody who won the lottery would go to, have a 401k or S&P 500, or vice versa, or have compound interest, or invest in themselves, like, having a gym membership with that, or like putting that money aside, or like budgeting that money out. You know what I'm saying? Like, half of them just spend it on the now, and they just wonder, oh, well, I had 100 million. Well, now you can't make that again, because you have to be able to understand that with pain, there's progress, there's XP. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the gym. With the gym, when you're first starting out, you're not going to know everything, right? You're not going to know what weights you can lift. You're not going to know how to lift the weights. But if you look for yourself, that's more important than you just following someone's program or this, that, and the third. Now, I can give you the program, right? Anybody can give you the program. They might give you a better program than what I can. And that's good for you. You have to find what program will fit for you. You don't have to go to everybody's like fitness influencer type and then just follow what they say, because like that's their body. You're you know what I'm saying? You have to go with your type of people, or with your certain beliefs that align with that certain type of person. You know what I'm saying? It just gets deep like that. And sometimes, like I said, you don't want fast success, because when you have fast success, you have fast problems. When you have slow success, you have slow problems. For example, if I'm a millionaire, but I did the non-DLC method, I did basically the base game and the side quest and whatever was free, and then the person just did the DLC and didn't do the story, well, now if we battle, they have the disadvantage immediately. Like let's be honest, if everybody, like, I'll give you an example from my personal experience, right? I mean, just taking charge and just like saying, hey, like, success is better than it's a success, right? There's some certain kids, when Super Smash Brothers Ultimate came out, right? They had the DLC and all the DLCs and stuff like that. I got all the DLC or whatever. That was in middle school, right? And then, basically, if you know me, right? If you know where I used to go to middle school, I used to go to middle school at Roble type shit. It was weird, but y'all already know that story. But like I said, I never had the Nintendo Switch. I never had like the new console like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really had all that. So with my new friends at the time, they had new Switches. So I was used to play on their Switches that they're in the first. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to block either. So I was like, okay. Well, I usually played Ganon, so I was like, okay, I'll play Ganon here. I was like, okay. Well, I sucked balls. I didn't know what the B button was. I didn't play it in a little bit. But then, I was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do, right? So immediately as I went home, this is after I lost a couple times, right? That was the pain, right? I looked up certain videos on my own, and I looked up videos on the Wii U specifically about how to play Ganon. Then I looked and saw that Ganon in the Wii U is kind of similar to Ganon in Super Smash Bros. It's only the fact that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from the Wii U version is that Ganon's a lot faster. It has a whole bunch of more range. So if I implement just having like base Ganon knowledge on the Wii U, that could kind of get me somewhere with Ultimate. So what I did was I did an hour a day of basically Super Smash Brothers locking. So after I got my homework done from middle school, this, that, and the third, what I did was I went on my Wii U, boot that thing up, had the little mouse pad and everything, and booted up the Wii U, put in my disc, you know what I'm saying? I played in both Brawl and I played in both Wii U. And then basically to combine the two. Then from there, what I did is I played Ganon specifically, and I played level 9, I think it was level 9 CPUs, which I think Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it was like nasty. That's what the announcer said. YouTube, you're not gonna get me on that. That's what the announcer said. Oh, I'm waiting for this car, but we're gonna keep talking anyways. But yeah, it was just like after I came back, right? I came back day 2, or I came back day 2. They were like, Paris, you wanna play? I'm like, okay, I got you. Brother, I was whooping everybody's ass, bro. Everybody's was getting built to ass, okay? And then basically the only person that could beat me was my homeboy at the time, Couch. And then he was S tier, right? And so because I was the only one that could beat him, I was S tier too. So we were only the 2 S tiers that know how to play, you know what I'm saying? And it just gets deeper than that, because a lot of our playing styles, now that I think about it, represented within the game, representing who we are as people. Like, he was very specific on like parrying and like spot dodging. He wasn't really the super armor type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I was the super armor type of dude. I didn't block. I didn't do nothing. I took the hits. I like characters that when you take the hit, they get stronger. Like, I was that type of person, which I'm that type of person now. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it doesn't matter where you start. It matters how you finish. You know, like I said, like I can give you the MIDI plan. Like for instance, Super Smash Bros. I could have got the Switch, right? And I could have been like, oh, I got the Switch. I can play this and third. But I still wouldn't be good if I didn't know the controls. I still wouldn't be good if I didn't know the spot dodging or whatever, the super armor, the text, this, that, and the third. You know? But I didn't make that a problem. I just said, hey, if I don't have this, let me see what I can do so I can make sure that I'm up there, you know? And it just gets deep from cross country. If you know me from cross country, hell, like, you know? Another example. I was one of the slowest runners back in the day in cross country, right? I had a goal. I was like, I'm gonna be varsity at least in my high school career. And I was at the end of it. And I got my letter and all this other stuff. I got a whole bunch of respect too. But I didn't have all the fancy stuff. Like y'all know if y'all follow me on anything, on my cross country stuff, or my cross country people, or if cross country people are watching this still, that hey, like I didn't have the nicest shoes. I didn't have the nicest like clothes. I walked everywhere. I still do to this day. I've never been afraid to walk, but I've always been that kind of dedicated to like, hey, if I'm going to do this song, I'm going to do it to the fullest of my extent, regardless. And you know, there have been some of the people that were performative that had that, like the Oakleys and Biofreeze and stuff like that. But no, I didn't have all that. I just had whatever I had. You know what I'm saying? I had like one pair of shoes. It was my green Pegasuses, which Ryan Donner, which he's goated. He's a goated dude. I'm just for that. He's famous now, but you know. But anyways, with Ryan, he was like, "Yo, bro, you need new shoes." I'm like, "What do you mean? These are new shoes." But he knew. He's like, "Paris, I've seen you ran in those shoes since freshman and sophomore year. This is like junior year. So I've ran in those shoes for like 3 years. And normally with the mileage at the time, we were doing 50 miles like a week because we were juniors, right? It was like 34 for freshmen, 40 and 50 for juniors at the time, and then 50, 45-ish at the time, right? So you times that, I did I think I did like 3,000 to like 5,000 in those shoes. They hurt, but I was like, hey, I'm not gonna let that stop me. And I wore them everywhere. I wore them to the gym as well. So that's double the damage to the product. So it's like, shit gets deep, and you're gonna realize that like sometimes people are not gonna like it, you know what I'm saying? But we're not doing it for them, we're doing it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people make these excuses about, like, oh, I don't have everything. Well, no one has everything. We just play with the cards we're dealt with, you know. Like, if we all had a 401k with $1 million, we were all above the age of 56 or 65. Correct me if I'm wrong, and we took it out and all debt free, and we took all the money and we moved and all this other stuff, and then we're hating on those people, talking about, oh, well, if I had the 100 million in my 401k, blah blah blah. But you had the job. You had the supreme job where you had like a 401k match and this, that, and the third, but you didn't use it. You're like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not gonna worry about it now. But then that one person that, you know, worked really hard, had to do janitor stuff, had to sleep on the floor and stuff like that. You're mad at him for, like, oh, he had better opportunities. People are gonna get mad when you have, like, better opportunities, but the thing is, you gotta play with the cards you're dealt with. Like, it's like Uno. Like one person may have, it may be red, and that one person may have like a reverse, right? But it's your turn, right? So that means you can if you're playing stacks, you can plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, and then you have a red plus 4, and then you put it down, and then now the tables are turned. Now you say Uno, and then that's game. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta learn to play your cards right. Hell, like you know, like, I've never been in the best situations. Like, like I said, I never had the nicest stuff. I never had the nicest clothes. Never had like you know, like what the new kids had. Like, I never had like a chain. And the first time I got a chain was like, I think freshman. Yeah, freshman. The one I had an actual chain, like an actual like regular chain, because I had my pearls, but like when I had an actual chain, that was like junior year. Even with my pearls, that was junior year. You know, you can't wait for everybody to give you handouts. You know, like, no one's. As funny as it is, I'm reading like the Let Them Theory. You know what I'm saying? Good author. I forget what her name is. Respectfully, I don't want to mess up her name. But like I said, you got to realize that, number one, no one's coming to save you, man. Like, you gotta. As funny as that sounds, no one's going to save you. No one's giving you that handout. You gotta play with the cards you dealt with. Like hell, this is my iPad, right? But there's people out there with not even this, that have harsher experiences, that have, like, you know, the cruelest of experiences, but they have more subscribers than me, and they have more videos out, they have better technology. Even at that, they might have none of that, but the bad stuff, and even just like a flip phone or something, or like use the Wi-Fi from Starbucks, sticking in the Starbucks, or this, that, and the third, which I'm not saying sticking in is right, but what I'm saying is that you gotta work with the cards you dealt with, dude. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Because like I said, I could give you the game plan. I could give you the DLC, right? But you gotta still put in the work. Like, you didn't even tell me, oh, I'm just gonna use a Min and just use whatchamacallit. But if I play Bowser and I start cooking you, then it's an issue. But Pierce, you no, I'm just good at the game, like with the cards I'm dealt with. Like, you gotta realize that you gotta keep going on and keep doing that. Because a lot of times what these gym influencers, these people on the internet they say like, oh, you gotta do this, that, and the third, giving you like a game plan and whatever the hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could give you that, right? I thought about it too, because not a subscriber, but a person commented that he wanted to get in the gyms. But like, I think this is pretty much more beneficial. Because I could give you the program, right? But that's not what people need. People need to understand that, hey, I could give you the program, but you gotta view it, you know? And that's what I was trying to get at. But yeah, dude, just work with what you got. Like, it's Uno. Like, hell, I may have all the cards, right? But I may have all the cards to win. I just have to play the cards right. You may have one card and you're not even playing it. So you can instantly win the game, but you don't even want to do it. Hell, some of the people don't even say Uno. And then when someone says Uno, you get mad and talking about, oh, well, I was supposed to say Uno or this kind of stuff. Like, that reminds me of a rap freestyle at work, where he said, like, the final bar was like, hey, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like, they say, damn him. And then he was like, damn him. and he's like, I could walk on water, and they could see like he can't swim, and then like I was just like, wow, that was deep, because literally, like if you want to be religious about it, right? Because I'm Christian, right? Jesus broke bread for free, and then there'll be some people at that time now will be like, oh well, he didn't give me no food. Jesus walked on water. I bet there were some people back then were like, hey, he can't swim. I'll even go even deeper. When Jesus came back, or when he came back, everyone was like, oh, well, he can't do it again. Some people were like that. Some people, I bet you on my life, some people back then were like, hey, yo, Jesus can't do it again. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I just rather win. I just rather win and have the knowledge and power to win again. I'm not gonna just win by accident. It's the same Mario Party, brother. Like I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win and recreate winning, because it's consistency winning. Winning, when you win, you get confidence, right? Then you want to win again. Some people just think that winning and they get this ego boost and they're like, oh well, I'm hot shit. No, you gotta keep on winning. But yeah, that just gets deep, brother. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed, and remember, no excuses, dude. Play with the cards we're dealt with, because like I said, it could be your turn, it could be their turn, but hey, we all got cards to play, and I'm trying to win Uno, brother. We ain't playing around.